I'm going to do a sort of quite an unusual sort of picture, which is a nocturne. We don't often go out and paint at night. The lighting is always very difficult to do, and once you lit your paper you can't see your scene anymore because your eyes adjust. But I do nocturnes in towns, but when crossing the bridge on walking home over the River Stour, I saw this scene, which I thought was rather beautiful. So I took a very, as you see, blurry picture on my phone. So it's quite a difficult sort of thing to paint, but often quite quick. So if it goes wrong quickly. But, I'll just sort of go through how to go about it, really. The picture, i.e. our subject, is really the twinkly lights of the nearby village on the other side of the river. So I always feel that the important thing to get in first is your subject, and then you make your picture around it. So my subject is the twinkly lights, so we'll have those in first. There, and on the red ground, as you see, they don't look very twinkly. So their lack of twinkliness is the first thing to be addressed. And that will shape the rest of the picture. So all our decisions will run from this first tonal decision. So what I'll do is find a tone and colour that makes them twinkly. So I'm going to surround my possible twinklies with a bit of a tone. Okay, so is that twinkly enough? Well, they're not yellow enough. But I think once the paint is in a little bit of a, I can darken around those to bring them out. And I think once the pales are in impasto and very, very clean, I think that'll do. So that has told us what a whole big area of our picture is like. We've basically got this line on the hills we now know the tone of. So having solved that problem, we can put all of that in, and this sort of picture, there's no detail really, so a great big brush, whack the line in, goes all the way across there. It might have a little more colour in it eventually, but we can have all of that in. And we need to have kept a little bit of tone back to make these dark hedgerows, and that's the next tone to go in, really, the dark hedgerows there. We want to go darker, but we still want to have enough tonal range left to get a darker dark in there. So that's quite difficult to do. You can whack it in with a great big brush pretty rapidly. Our dark hedge there, and we've got the edge of the bank, and then another bit of reflected tree here, and then the reflection of this tree here. And you see within very few brushstrokes, we have the beginning of our picture, and we've got our main tree here. So the next we've got choice of the next two colours are either the sky tone, because I have my original colour in there. Then finding the tone is really quite easy, and the important edge is the join here, so we can see whether we've got. And that's the basis. I think it might need to be a little bit cleaner. It might not. It depends on when the other tones are in, what it looks like. And this is probably going to be left as a quick impressionist sketch. So. The tonal values are everything about it, really. The next area is our water, and now we know. And we can judge this tone against our dark, and I can see already that we're pretty good. And then we're a little bit darker as we come into the foreground here. It's often tempting with a nocturne like this to get too much brilliance of colour in there, but really everything is softened back, really. And the thing is, we need to get to a position where we can judge what we've got as quickly as possible. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm literally just putting white straight on the board, and I'll drop colour into that. So I'm using my my board to mix rather than mixing on the palette. And for things that are luminous like skies, this is nearly always a good tactic. So we've got that, and now into that we can brush colour, and as you see, we're getting a much better chroma from that, and it's quite easy to get it down into the tonal range we need. And as you see, that has much more of the feel of our picture. And to that end as well, I want to up the colour content in this foreground water as well to match it. So I can pick paint off this because there's plenty of paint going around to define this other bank here. I might put a few more touches than there really are, but not very many more. The next important thing is that tree that punctuates the sky. It can be quite difficult laying colour into an existing wet area of paint, and I just want the impression of them at the moment in the right place and the right shape. I'm not particularly happy with the my tree there, so I think it needs to be simpler. The marks are too scrappy, so I'm going to put some single brush strokes in, and this is very, very tricky to get right. But because we're on this ground, on the thick white, we can soften anything very easily. It's getting the hard darks. It's getting the hard darks in there that's the work, and I think that's enough for that. And then we've got this row of trees in the background, and that's carried on right through here. And I'll stick my again. I'll come and stick my my tree trunks back in, but that establishes the distant row of hill of trees. The next move is to refine this these reflections here, and I've still not used a full dark. It's important to note that I'm avoiding using a full dark. Okay, that is pretty much there. I now need to get some colour into my main lights here, and I'm putting a bit of green into the mix here now. And now I want some richer, a few of these richer colours in there. So we're going in with a bit of stronger colour, and because I've got all this under there, I can mix on the board and go in pretty strongly with the colour. And you can smooth it off as much as you want depending on the taste. I rather like it all brushy, but that is completely to your personal taste. Okay, it's quite nice. And now I need some more, with a very, very clean brush, more colour in the sky as well. And again, this is mixing on the board. Now we've got a nice smooth, creamy consistency in there, so we can get some quite nice, interesting. And that's much better tone-wise. We've got that nice softness in there now. And then I've got to be bold with this tree. With any painting, you really want to keep your mark making pretty consistent across the painting. And we can now, I can see that's a lot better because the lines of the trunks are looking a lot more convincing. It's got away from me again now. I don't like it again now. There we go. That's often the way with painting, I'm afraid. It goes to and fro. This sort of thing is often frustrating because I can see I'm almost what I want, but not quite. Right, yeah, that's looked a lot better. Happy with that. Then that has to be carried on down because the tree carries on down here. And now I'm using my final darks just to strengthen the core shadows. I'm not putting it everywhere. I'm putting it where the edge of my bank might be. You know, I can't see where it is, but I think it might be there. And here, you're not too worried about exactly what's there, as long as it's the right sort of stuff. And then we're going to have a few quite defined bits to shape the river going around the corner. And we might also, we need to make a bit of a turn in the river here, so we can afford to leave reality here and use our imaginations a little bit. And I think that's almost enough. We will put a bit of strong hue in the very foreground here. And I'm making it more purpley than it really is, because I think I prefer that. And there are practically no hard edges in the whole picture. There's a lot of paint on the board now, so I won't fiddle with it further. But when I've let it dry, I will fix the last bits in this tree, which will be very, very easy to do then. And then we only have the final act, really, which is the whole point of the picture, which is our twinkles. And to do that, we use a full bit of impasto. We want to put a little solid sticky out bead of paint on, and I think that's it really for that painting. It will have to have a tidy up, but it works fine, and it's a very, very simple little sketch in any case. So that's the lot. Okay, thank you.